Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're totally decoding the exact data-driven formula for creating highly successful YouTube Shorts. We're looking at the latest strategic insights straight from top creators, and honestly, we're going to break down the literal science of attention right here. You're getting a clear, actionable playbook to transform casual scrollers into a massively engaged audience. Let's get right into it. So let's kick things off with the ultimate question about modern attention spans. It's the literal cliff edge we face every single time we hit publish, right? What makes a viewer completely unable to scroll away? We are competing against endless feeds of incredibly stimulating content. That means holding attention, it isn't just some art form anymore. It is a strict, measurable science. Okay, moving right into section 1, the algorithmic sweet spot. Before we can even think about getting creative, we have to respect the strict mathematical laws of the algorithm. 3 seconds, that is literally all you get. You know that whole myth that humans have the attention span of a goldfish? Well, honestly, that's giving us way too much credit when we're scrolling. If a viewer swipes away within that first tiny little window, your content is totally dead in the water. The algorithm just instantly categorizes your short as boring. So everything we talk about from here on out completely revolves around surviving this brutal 3-second window. Now, if you do survive that initial window, you've got 2 huge goals to hit. You need over 80% audience retention and a 75% stay-to-watch metric. And look, these are not just vanity metrics. When your short hits these exact thresholds, the system acts like a giant megaphone. It pushes your content out to entirely new, massive audiences. That is exactly how you start gaining free subscribers on absolute autopilot. It's a harsh reality. You either hit these numbers and skyrocket, or you miss them and flatline. And when it comes to length, the data is super clear. You basically have to choose between 2 algorithmic extremes if you want to maintain those massive retention numbers. You can either go ultra short, keeping it a really tight, punchy 5 to 15 seconds, or you aim for the sweet spot, which is a slightly longer, value-packed 31 to 45 seconds. Wandering aimlessly somewhere in the middle? Yeah, that usually just dilutes your pacing and completely tanks your retention. You absolutely have to pick a lane. All right, let's jump into section 2, the seamless loop strategy. So how in the world do you actually keep people watching long enough to hit an 80% retention rate? Well, this is where a brilliant little psychological trick comes into play, the seamless loop. It works like this. You intentionally end your script mid-sentence so that it perfectly seamlessly sequences right back into your opening 3-second hook. Because Shorts auto-replay, this trap catches the viewer in an automatic rewatch without them even noticing the thing restarted. By the time they realize they're watching it again, boom, they've already given you an extra few seconds of view time, which effectively inflates your retention metrics well beyond 100%. It's genius. Now, what's wild is that to actually pull off this loop, your supporting anti-scroll tactics have to be pretty counterintuitive. First off, you gotta drop the desperate, obvious calls to action. No more, please subscribe to my channel. Modern viewers just immediately tune that out and swipe past it. Instead, you're relying entirely on psychological curiosity to keep them hooked. If you really need them to take an action, pin a high-value comment down in the comment section. Oh, and here's a totally amazing technical tip from the sources. Avoid external audio. Use the native trending sounds directly inside the app, but, and this is key, drop the volume way down to just 1 to 5%. It tricks the algorithm into grouping you with trending topics, but keeps your voiceover crystal clear. Next up, section 3, anatomy of a viral script. Let's actually deconstruct a specific 35-second script template designed perfectly for this psychological curiosity niche. It all kicks off with the ultimate 3-second hook. This is exactly why smart people always pretend to be the dumbest person in the room. When you pair a super provocative statement like that with bold text right in the center of the screen, plus a striking visual anchor, it stops the scroll instantly. It creates this massive knowledge gap in the viewer's brain, and they simply have to stick around to find out the why. We can literally map this entire timeline out second by second for the full 35 seconds. So we just nailed the 3-second hook. Then from seconds 3 to 15, we enter the build-up. This is where you expand on the premise, explaining how most people waste energy proving their intelligence and totally miss the hidden trap. To keep retention high here, you need fast cuts. We're talking changing visuals every 1.5 to 2 seconds, often paired with a hyper-realistic AI voice. Then, at second 15, we hit the core value. This is the payoff. You explain that playing dumb makes others drop their guard. Throw in a subtle bass drop or a slick sound effect to emphasize key words, while those kinetic captions flash on screen. And finally, we hit the last 5 seconds, the setup and loop phase. Let's really zoom in on that final phase, because it's crucial. Notice how the setup intentionally ends right here on the word end. It is the easiest psychological hack to stay steps ahead of everyone else. And abrupt cut. The audio completely stops, instantly. The video immediately snaps straight back to that very first slide's hook. This is exactly why smart people, it just perfectly completes the loop, trapping the viewer right back in the narrative before they even have a split second to touch the screen. Finally, we have Section 4, the Free Creator Toolkit. Here's the best part. You don't need some massive Hollywood budget to build these retention traps. Seriously, by following these 3 precise steps, anyone can pull this off. Step 1, please don't stare at a blank page. Use the free versions of AI tools like ChatGPT or a specialized one like Subscriber AI to generate a bunch of high-retention script variations based on that blueprint. Step 2, once your audio is recorded, just drop it into CapCut to auto-generate those massive, dynamic, flashing captions that keep viewers glued. And step 3, stop guessing your titles. Rely on the free search features inside vidIQ to uncover high-volume, low-competition keywords for your title and description before you even think about hitting publish. It is a completely free, highly optimized pipeline from start to finish. All right, as we wrap up this explainer, you are walking away with the raw algorithmic metrics, the seamless loop trick, the exact script anatomy, and the free tools to put the whole shebang together. So I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. If you can engineer human attention this perfectly, what kind of impact are you going to build next? Get out there and start creating. Thanks so much for joining me today.